Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and today we are pulling shards for 3 different viewers as part of this 2x Sacred Shard event. So let's cross our fingers, hopefully we get some good luck. Also for me, I was busy the other day because I was getting the keys to our new house. My key ring is growing. It's not all for the new house, but yeah, we've got a new house. It's a new build, so we're not ready to move in yet. We've got to get, floors in, get furniture delivered, all that sort of stuff. But it's coming soon. Big changes coming soon. I'm very excited. Anyway, let's pull some shards today. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to talk all about that more moving forwards. Probably be very obvious as well because I'll be recording in a different room. It's going to be super different. Anyway, let's go. We got 7 sacreds. Let's pull. Obviously, Withier, her event is still on right now. With 7 shards, you're kind of hoping for 1 legendary out of that. In a 2x event, I think roughly every 1 in 8 shards, roughly speaking, is going to give you that. Kaiden, not bad for Faction Wars. Reviver, which is always useful. Oh, a little bit of lag there made me kind of hopeful. Jurang, I think he got buffed recently. Yeah, he's got the 100% chance to stun now. He's got the triple hitter at random that puts decrease attack, decrease defense. He's definitely not a bad option. He's an okay option if you are struggling with Lizardman. So it's sort of up to you. We got ourselves another epic. Lodric, also not terrible because he does have a shield for 2 turns on a 2-turn cooldown. So you can be kind of good for Demon Lord. And with that really short cooldown on the shield, he can be very helpful for Scarab Boss. Another epic. Okay, this is probably my favorite epic of the ones we've pulled so far. Dur the Hungerer. I do really like this guy. He's got a good revive. He's got a good heal with reflect damage for the team. Chance to stun on his A1. I think he's very, very good for Demon Spawn, Faction Crypt. He can actually be kind of good with Seer, right? Because reflect damage and continuous heal. 2 kind of unusual buffs to give Seer buffs to strip off. And yeah, I say he's quite strong for Iron Twins. Like the reflect damage, it's probably okay there. It's one of the worst buffs in the game. But if it's going to be good anywhere, it's going to be good there. Maeve, I think, does she require about 50 million bucks, or is it her sister? No, she's not bad, actually. Only 12 needed. Not bad. Not a champion to ever use. Okay, we got 2 shards left to pull here for, I think it's Meals on Wheels. 2 shards. Can we do it? Come on. Oh, no. It's going down to the last shard. Well, Stag Knight is insanely good. If we don't have Stag Knight, we're very, very happy about that. Decrease speed A1. Not a 100% chance, but it is still very useful for Iron Twins, for Hydra, and for Fire Knight as well. Then he has the AoE with decreased defense and decreased attack. Then he's got a very underrated passive. Puts increased accuracy on an ally whenever they have a debuff resisted by an enemy. This can be very helpful for Iron Twins, where you're going up against this boss that has extremely high resistance, increased accuracy. He just does it passively, and it's going to help you be a bit more consistent with it. And obviously the decreased attack is going to help you live. The decreased speed stops the boss. So yeah, he's just very, very good for Iron Twins and good in general. The last Sacred Shard on account number 1. Can we get gold? No. Oh, man. A little unlucky here for sure. A little unlucky for sure. Can Shatterbones decrease speed? He can decrease speed with a bit of a turn meter boost. Now, this is the weak version for 2 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. Definitely a bit weak. He's got a good nuke, though. This is a good AoE attack. Hail. He's not terrible. He is not terrible. He's a good Faction War champion. He's okay. You might build him. And honestly, for now, we're not pulling any more Sacreds here. On Meals on Wheels account, he is saving the rest of the Sacreds for a potential guaranteed Sacred event. So we're definitely, I feel like, fairly unlucky there. With the 12% chance, that's pretty unlucky. Unfortunate. It is what it is, though. 2x, this is the thing about guaranteed versus 2x. Guaranteed, you're playing more with your Mercy timer. You're definitely getting 1 after X number of shards. And then Mercy timers, you're getting 1 after Y number of shards. With 2x event, you can be real lucky or real unlucky. Unlucky to start. Let's see if we can turn it around, though, for account number 2. All right, next up, we are on Mikkel's account. Obviously, a bit of an earlier account here. 3.6 million player power. We've got 5 Sacreds to pull. We're going to pull them all. And first of all, he does want us to check Clan Boss. Cross your fingers, guys. Can we get another Sacred in here? Maybe. Oh, Legendary Skill Tome. That's not too bad. Not a Sacred, but you never say no to a Lego Tome. They're like... Another Lego Tome. Yo, 2 Lego Tomes back to back from Clan Boss, pretty much. That's actually really solid. Definitely not going to complain about that. No shard. Did we get 0 shards? I think we got 0 shards. But hey, 2 Lego bucks. We just double the Lego Tomes here for this account. That's not bad. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to pull 5 Sacreds, and then he does want me to take a quick look at his Hydra team, so we'll see what we can make happen. He says his most wanted legendary is Prince Kymar, which is probably no surprise. Probably for a lot of people, Prince Kymar is the champion they want. Snorting Thug, unlikely to be wanted really by anyone. Even his own mother turned him away. I don't even know what his skills do, and I don't care. Sorry, Snorting. This has turned into a really harsh treatment of Snorting Thug. My goodness. Crimson Helm. You guys know I hate Crimson Helm. She's actually pretty good. I don't like her. She can solo Bommel, but it's such a hassle. It's a real hassle. I guess maybe it's a bit easier and faster now if you can get her awakened. So that's definitely something to watch out for. But yeah, there's a bit of work goes into it. She's a decent support then for like faction war type stuff. Apart from that, another epic. Man, we have yet to strike gold. Come on, let's turn it around, Plarium. What is this? Chani, kind of an interesting poisoner. She has she gets crit rate for every point of accuracy that she has. Does she give herself? Yeah, she gives herself increased accuracy, and then she can put a burn if it's critical. I've heard some people say they like Chani. I don't really know why. Like, she's not bad early game as a clan boss champion, right? Because she's poisoning, she's burning. She does give herself the accuracy and attack, which is nice, but I think outside of the first like 3 or 4 months of playing the game, I just don't see her being useful. Oh, another epic. Come on, guys. Galkut. Funny enough, this guy is actually, I think, a lot better than people think. He's actually a really good damage dealer. He's got AoE attack that sort of damage decreases on each hit randomly. Kind of fun. And then he has another AoE that also puts out a bomb. And then he's got a double hitter A1 with decreased defense. Actually a really good damage dealer for Faction Wars here. A good spirit affinity damage dealer as well. He's definitely sort of slept on. Because I think bombs had such a negative reputation for so long. But he's going to do good damage. Nice debuff there. The bombs are powerful. Not bad. Here we go. The last Sacred Shard in this account. Come on, dude. Plarium. Come on. There we go. There we go. Basilius. Is he the... I can never remember. Is he the good one or the bad one? Okay, he's actually, I'd say, probably the better one overall. Not too bad. So Majesty, this is his sort of main thing here. AoE attack, it does buck to a 100% chance to stun and decreases turn meter by 50% if it doesn't stun. 4 turn cooldown, actually pretty good. He's Force Affinity, so Force Affinity AoE stun, that's nice. Then he has a triple hitter attack here that ignores increased defense, shield, block damage, and 50% of the target's defense. So if you put him in Savage and Helm Smasher, and he procs Helm Smasher, it will ignore 100% defense. So this will really rip people apart. His A1 can steal a buff and can place block buffs if they've no active buffs. I actually think this guy is pretty decent. What sort of stats does he have, actually? What sort of stats are on this guy? I imagine we've beaten easily enough. Yeah, like High Elves is such an easy faction to beat. If you got Deliana, we actually have Alexander here as well. Arbiter, Yannicka for free. Royal Huntsman was the other guy I was thinking of. Rowanus is new. I mean, he's got really high base attack. He's got good base speed. I think this guy's pretty decent. You know, if you don't have, like, let's say Astralon. We do have Astralon. Astralon is sort of a similar thing. Magic Affinity, AoE stun. But yeah, this guy, he's not bad. Not bad, I think. Rowanus, he's one that's worth looking into. I mean, again, if you got him early, I think he'd be really nice. Just to pity his skin. He's really old-looking champion. He doesn't look very cool. And being a dupe. So if we were to take a quick look here at Hydra, which is what we wanted to look at, and seeing what sort of stuff we have to throw together for hard, oh yeah, we should definitely be able to one-key hard with this sort of team. I'd say very quickly, like, one thing to look at here is, okay, how do we deal with all these heads? Duchess is going to deal with Torment. That's fine and keep us alive. Duchess, Ugo, Krisk. I mean, right there, you've got enough to get through. No problem. So I'd definitely be doing that. I do think Duchess, Krisk, Ugo is really a no-brainer. This is like the core trio for every single rotation. It looks like we don't have a Geomancer. So the ideal thing to fill this out would be like Husk. If we have a Husk, we don't have a Husk. Okay. We do have a Geomancer. Okay, so Geomancer slots right in there. Perfect. That makes things nice and easy. Husk would be the other thing. And then Royal Guard. Like Husk, Royal Guard, and there you go. This is like your most typical possible clan boss team. Yeah, just flicking through. I'm just seeing if we have Husk, because Husk is so good for this. It doesn't look like we have him, unfortunately, unless he's not built all the way down here. If he was all the way down here, you definitely build him. I don't think I see him. I might have missed him. So yeah, for this, what you could do, I mean, you've got the Cantra. You might want to just use her for a different team, to be honest, but you can absolutely throw her in. Ninja doesn't combo super well at Geomancer, but it can work okay. I mean, Turvold is a fine damage dealer. Combos a bit better with Mithrala, mind you. So yeah, what would I put in here? It's sort of up to you. Sigmund isn't too bad either for a bit of extra provoking. That actually, I know you were using him already. That might be a decent one to put in. And yeah, seeing as you don't have the max HP nuker, you can't go too far wrong with Ninja. Yeah, there's a bit of counterplay there between Geomancer and Ninja, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I would also switch Geomancer into Cruelty Blessing. I think that's going to be very helpful. And you should pretty much rip through. Like, this should really do it. It's basically the team you were running here. Yeah, very similar. But we're going to bring in Geo for a bit more protection. Then I would use Kantra for like a team 2. Like, do we have an Inquisitor? We do. So that could definitely be the basis of like a team 2. You could put in something like a Kantra for team 2. Physics is good, but we probably don't need her with a Kantra. You know, probably don't need her there. This is where it gets a little bit trickier, where, you know, we've got less champions to choose from and to work with. So with her, she's doing that, and we could bring in an Inquisitor. Godseeker could be a nice one to throw in here as well. We're going to want some debuffs then to trigger her. Do we have Lydia yet? Doesn't look like we do. Lydia would have been nice. I do think that Sissia would be a nice option in here. So we've got lots of provoking there. Let's look for more consistent block buffs than what Kantra can do. That would be a nice addition. And then maybe a little bit more protection for the team. It's just a nice sort of thing to go for. You could always go with the provokes from Molly. That would probably be team 3. Ooh, we do have Theodore. That's actually not a bad option either. And he's booked. So Theodore would be a good one to throw in. We're going to be we'd be a little low on protection at that point, but it might be worthwhile. Block buffs. What do we have for block buffs? Trying to do this reasonably quickly. Reasonably quickly. I'm not seeing too much, honestly, in terms of the block buffs. Yeah, we're fairly lacking. I think the best option is something I did see earlier. Yeah, okay, very lacking in the block buff. Do we not have even Deliana? I guess Deliana's not leveled up, huh? She's a great champion. Where is Deliana? Oh, look, there's Husk. Oh, hang on. Husk spotted. Alert, Husk spotted. He was hiding. There's the Husk right there. Okay, good. So that's your team right there. Boom, boom, boom. And you could really replace Ninja with anyone. You could put anyone in the Ninja spot. I think we could probably even move Ninja to this team then, and that gives you another really solid team. Okay, guys, so we did a quick bit of theory crafting. I realized there was a couple of champions in there that I missed, and you've got a couple of really good ones in here as well, like War Mother, which is really powerful for Hydra, especially like the normal hard. But yeah, you know, here's a few ideas for stuff that we could do. So team number 1, we actually do, I completely missed it. So I went back and I did check. We do have the stereotypical team, which is Duchess, Krisk, Ugo, Geomancer, Husk, and Royal Guard. This was like the old school, really stereotypical team. Of course, I guess the new stereotypical teams are going to be with Acrisia. For team number 2, I figure something like this is going to be good. You would put probably Shamail at the back though. But fairly straightforward. We've got really Sissia is going to hard carry all the damage. We've got Kantra, who's going to be provoking. We've got a bit of a backup, provoke and decrease attack here. You get decrease attack from Krisk here, decrease attack over here. We get block buffs from Deliana. The decrease resistance can help you get enough debuffs out there for Kantra to start doing her thing. And then Shamail to start boosting up Kantra, giving her more turns. And it should work pretty well. You know, there's not a very high damage team. We've got a lot of sort of consistent damage. So there's probably room to tweak this team, but it's kind of a fun little starter one. Yeah, something like that could be kind of nice. You could always just not bring in the block buffs like that Deliana brings in. You could bring in something else. And then this sort of team down here, I think, is actually a really nice one, where we've got that second Ugo that you definitely want to level up. Seeker, really to lock down and provoke decay. He's very good for it. I think Theodore actually works really well here. He's giving you increased speed. He's putting out potentially weaken, which can work well. He can increase the poison and HP burns, which is nice. He's got the AoE decrease speed, so he's just bringing you a lot, and he's already booked. So yeah, he's just going to bring you loads of control. Ultimate Death Knight, I don't know if he's booked, so he's not booked, but he's just very, very good. He's going to give you a bit of shielding. He brings you that decreased attack to protect you. Ugo with the block buffs, Ninja to do all the damage, and then Rectordrath to kind of protect people, keep them alive. So yeah, this team has a lot of protection. Ninja hard carries the damage, And then you've probably got enough sort of backup damage to break Ninja out when he gets eaten. And other than that, you've got a ton of control. Mischief tanking with Death Knight to protect like Ninja getting stuff stolen. So yeah, I think this would be a pretty nice team. So I think those are 3 good teams. I mean, this team is completely OP for every single rotation. So there you go. And then a couple of pretty good backup teams. And you can obviously sort of switch things around. And like I said, you've got other champions in there like War Mother. Arbiter is amazing, who we haven't used. Yeah, or any of sort of the other nukers can be good. I mean, Molly is excellent. Yannicka is excellent. You've got tons of really good potential ones. Herndig could be great, but he's not booked. Shemnath could be great, but he's not booked. Turvold can be good, but maybe more so with something like Mithrala. You know, it's kind of tricky to make him work. But that's sort of that. You get sort of the gist. There's tons of good options. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully that was sort of interesting. Interesting, a bit of theory crafting. We do have brutal unlocks. So you actually only have the 3 difficulties of Hydra. I'd say with these teams, if you build them right, you should absolutely be able to one-key them. Obviously, we're still early game, so gear is going to be a bit of an issue, but hopefully pointing you in the right direction. And let's jump over to account number 3. All right, guys, then finally we are on Dolce Angelo's account. We've got 10 sacreds to open up, and he also wants us to take a little bit of a look at his Hydra teams and see what we can do. So let's dive in straight with the shard pulls. Let's go. Let's go. Starting off strong with an epic. Okay, Kinagashi, that's actually maybe a new one. It was very difficult to get a duplicate of her during the... I can't remember. Was it Helicath? Maybe. It was whatever fusion it was. Pretty good faction war champion because she does have a revive, which is nice. Doesn't have any healing. You need to bring in a healer for your team as well, probably. But yeah, she's got a bit of, you know, turn meter boosting with a bad ally attack. The revive is the main thing for faction wars. Makes her certainly useful. I think she is the only proper reviver in Shadowkin still. Think so. Another Shadowkin that was part of a fusion. Umatogi. Think she's pretty weak. I've never really seen anyone have any reason to build her, unfortunately. Next up, is it another Shadowkin? Could it be? Could it be? No, Mordecai. Well, there we go. Again, an amazing epic. One of the best epics. If you don't have him, this guy is great. He has the AoE, places a HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Great thing about this, which is very handy, it does go through the poison cloud on Hydra. It's not an attack. It's just, you know, placing the debuff. So he doesn't weak hit either. He can work on every affinity against every affinity enemy. So very, very useful. It does have a bit of a long cooldown, but it does also give you 3 turns of increased attack for your team as well, which is good. Then he brings some turn meter stuff with his other abilities as well. So not bad. Not bad at all. Very, very good epic. I used him until I got Sissia myself. I used him for a long, long time, and he's very good. Tarshan, I think this guy, yeah, so this guy is your increased defense turn meter booster. Not as strong as Doomscreech, though, which is kind of the awkward thing right there. I think he might have more base speed than Doomscreech, though, so it's kind of an AoE weaken. He's got a single target provoke, 35% chance is fairly low. Then he's got a passive when his health drops low. I think he's okay. I think people think he's okay, but probably not much better than that. A decent option, but not amazing. Next up, Chancellor Yasmin. She's like budget Cythalia, right? She's got a chance to remove all buffs from all enemies and can sleep those who have active buffs. She's got a single target heal. That's okay. And then she's got an A1 extra hit. I personally think she's pretty weak. I think she can be okay, perhaps, at level 50 for faction war stuff. But to be honest with you, I have Cythalia, and I don't really use Cythalia very much. Here we go! Oh! It's the new dwarf. That's pretty cool. Okay, so she's a very, very new champion added to the game. And I think she was added in a way, a patch too early. I think she was the previous patch, not the newest one. But I think she could be really good for Iron Twins. Check it out, guys. So her A1 has got that 70% chance for decreased attack. Okay, good for Iron Twins. Her A2 is an AoE that decreases enemy buffs, not useful for Iron Twins, but good for Hydra, and then can put decreased accuracy, kind of nifty. Then she has ally protection on her team and increased defense on everyone, including her, on a 3-turn cooldown, so giving your team a ton of survivability. And then couple that with this is what I think makes her great for Iron Twins. Whenever an ally is attacked while under ally protection, puts decreased attack on the attacker for 1 turn. So she's going to just do a ton of work keeping your team alive, right? The ally protection, increased defense, going to be really consistent at putting out decreased attack, even a bit of decreased accuracy. So yeah, I think she's potentially great for Iron Twins. Let me see. People giving her 4.2. I feel like that's a bit harsh. I'm expecting her to be a bit better. Certainly one to look into. She looks badass. I do think that she's maybe not super useful outside of that. Like, she gives your team tons of protection. Could be kind of useful for Hydra with this, like that AoE, decrease accuracy, can be huge for Hydra, right? If you stop the poisons going out, it really mitigates a lot of the damage going in on your team. So someone like Godseeker, for example, could come in with her. Godseeker does good healing, but not insane healing. You put her with a Kira, and like, yeah, your team's never going to die, pretty much. And then you just bring in some really good damage dealers and block buffs like an Ugo, and then some big damage dealers. Could be cool. So it's definitely an option. Sanguinia, I just feel like the red on the top and her bottom don't match the red on her middle, and that bothers me. Decent cleanser, though. Can be good for Nether Spider. Next up, let us see. Come on, can we get another legendary? We've got 2 shards left. I want to see another Lego. Can we do it? Ursine Iron Crusher. I do think these bears are super cool, but I also don't think they're very good at all. In fact, I think they're almost entirely useless. They used to be okay for faction wars because there was no good skinwalkers, but I think there's so many more better options now. Baroth the Blood-Soaked. Again, kind of a cool looking champ. This guy's got like a lot of text in his skills. I'm not 100% sure what he does, and I don't know if he's very good. I think he's a single target damage dealer. I don't think he's much good. He's all right for faction wars. And it seems like that's about it. So 4 people really like him for Iron Twins. Why is that? Double hitter. He can fill his turn meter, decrease enemy turn meter. Okay. He's got a double hitter, gives gives a shield to your team. And the second hit heals. Okay, so a bit of healing for the team. All right. And then this one, you can put decrease attack, can remove increased attack. You can put decreased defense and remove increased defense. I mean, I guess he's not bad. He's putting out decreased attack. He's doing some healing for your team. He's probably doing decent damage at the same time. He does seem decent. He seems decent. Wouldn't rush out to build him, guys, but, you know, he's all right. He's all right. Oh, no, this is the last shard. Hey, it's another new champion, though. Franox. 4 reviews. And they're not very good, are they? So, yeah, she's brand new, but I do feel like she's, as a Pokemon player would say, a bit of a dex filler. That's all. Just a dex filler. Yeah, she's got, like, maybe decent single target damage, more damage and some buff stoppage, but she's pure single target. I don't know, like she might be okay in like a Hex sort of team for Hydra, but I'm not really blown away by her. I think it's unlikely that by the time you're able to build like a Hex-based team for Hydra, that you wouldn't have like a legendary single target damage dealer, you know? Which is sort of putting me off using Franox here. But yeah, I didn't even bother testing her. She didn't impress me too much. I will test her at some point, though, no doubt. But there we go. They are all the shard pulls. Very quickly, we did want to take a quick look at the Hydra team here as well. But yeah, if you're just watching, okay, well, I can't even theory craft you a proper Hydra team because you've already run your keys. I can't click in to see them. I guess to very briefly run through your champion collection, I suppose, is the thing to do. Do we have anything much in the vault? We do have, okay, we've got things like Royal Guard. We've got Naboro. Godseeker, we've got plenty of Shamail, so we should have some really good Hydra teams in here. There's a Geomancer, there's 2 Ugos. Okay, yeah, so we're super good for this. This is just really all. Okay, you know what? Let's go into like a dungeon. If you guys ever want me to give you Hydra advice, really make sure to save a key because it's just making it a hassle otherwise. But like, again, if we were to throw together some quick teams, like, let's see, include the Master Vault. Here we go. So we have some really good stuff, like Lady Kimmy jumps out immediately as being top tier. Solus, there we go. We've got Coronar as well. Lydia is amazing. Okay, we've got some really potentially good teams here. Yeah, we don't have that many legendaries, actually. Yeah, not that many Legos on this account. We've got good epics, though. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff we can do. No Mithrala yet. Right. So for stuff we could do. So I certainly think that like you'd definitely be putting Solus in one of the teams. Raglan is also very, very good for this. That is definitely one to consider as well. But Solus is going to come in and he will provide us with all the provokes. Looks like we're booking him up at the moment. He's definitely one to finish booking up. This guy is like S tier for Hydra. So he is super, super good. He's going to bring you all your provoking needs. We probably want to bring him alongside some sort of speed manipulator. So like a Kimmy is really perfect for that. And then maybe some form of damage. We could throw in like a Ninja would be pretty nice. We could do something like throw in like a Rector Drath as well if we've got Rector Drath. Oh, we might not have... Oh, we don't have a Rector. Okay. So that does make things a little more awkward. We could put in an Ugo, certainly to keep us alive. Raglan could be okay-ish here. Let me see. We've got a God Seeker. That's all right. I'm just looking for who would actually keep this team alive. And in terms of like a mischievy tank type thing, if we wanted to do that. Yeah, this is where you're definitely running into some issues right there for sure. We got the block so I guess you're just going with no real mischief tank, which is a little awkward. Yeah, so it does become a little bit tricky. It does become a little tricky. I would say like something. Yeah, man, something like Ursula would be nice. Who can give us increased attack and increased defense, but we don't have an Ursula, it looks like, which kind of sucks. Let me have a quick flick through here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so look, I did some brainstorming here fairly quickly, and of course, this is all done, like I said, pretty quickly, so there's plenty of room for error and stuff here. But these are some quick thoughts on what I would do, and we've kind of mixed and matched stuff here because it's awkward. For team 1, I guess something like Solus in there with a Lady Kimmy. So Solus is going to give you all the provokes and really good damage, extending debuffs as well, which is great. Lady Kimmy is going to be doing lots of speed manipulation. Ninja to do the bulk of the damage alongside Solus. Ugo for block buffs and decreased defense. Maybe Raglan to heal. This is a bit awkward because Raglan, her heal scales off of attack, which makes it kind of awkward because we don't have increased attack with this team. And then maybe throw in an Inquisitor Shamael or something. So that's maybe a bit funky. Like we could probably improve that. Like we don't have an increased defense for the team, which would be nice. We don't have strengthen. So I'm just worried this team might be a bit squishy, but hey, it's somewhere to start. Raglan's got a really good revive, so at least there's that. And it's quite a bit of healing and cleansing with Raglan and Ugo. No fear of the fears with a Shamael. So that's one to certainly look at. Might work. You'd obviously need to be building Ninja in a tanky build. Like this is a tanky Ninja who's going to do all of his damage with just activating HP burn. He doesn't really care about his hits. So it's like we don't really care about crit rate, just good accuracy, good speed, and then lots of health and some defense, right? Then team number 2, I think actually looks really nice. We got like a Coronar, a Lydia. The order is probably not set up with Shamael, but you can figure that around. But like Coronar, Lydia, Geomancer in there as well. Godseeker to extend buffs, probably Royal Guard in that team for some damage, and then Geomancer for some damage. So you got the two big damage dealers with Royal Guard and Geo, and Coronar actually does really good damage as well. Coronar with his passive is going to be counter-attacking whenever hit by enemies under decreased attack, defense, or speed. Put him in a taunting set and he can just be provoking non-stop. This Coronar is in a taunting set, I did check. He also has a guaranteed provoke on his A2 that gives himself buffs so he can mischief tank. So this Coronar, you can leave his speed actually fairly low because it's going to be hard to get that. You definitely want to crank his resistance high, his accuracy high. Try get him in 100% crit rate if you can. That's not essential, but like good health, good defense, that sort of stuff. Just he's going to be very stat hungry. He's going to want everything. The most important are to get the resist and accuracy high, and then he will do just lots and lots of damage with AoE counterattack with War Master, and then you probably want decent speed so we can rotate through this. We're going to have obviously increased speed, decreased defense, weaken AoE with Lydia. The only block buffs is going to be Lydia single target, so you'd want to target that block buffs onto Head of Wrath to protect you from Head of Wrath. We got decreased attack, we've got strengthen, Godseeker to keep us alive, Geomancer damage reduction passive. I think we should be fairly good with this. And yeah, it should be actually a really, really strong team. And, you know, with the AoEs here from Coronar, with the AoE A1s from Geo, with Lydia counterattacks, that's a ton of stuff to interact with Torment and Inquisitor Shamael, so you should get a lot out of that. And good buff coverage with Godseeker extending the Coronar buffs and the speed and strengthen from Lydia. So looks pretty okay. And for the final team, I don't know, maybe something like this. So going in with Bivald as a provoker, then for damage, bringing in Cupidus with the AoE attacks and HP burn, and Husk for the provoke, again, backup provoke to go alongside Bivald, and then the AoE max HP nuke. Obviously, we got a second Ugo here for decreased defense and block buffs. Melga to protect us, keep us alive, and then maybe just another Inquisitor for a bit more boosting and stuff. It's pretty good to boost up Bivald. He's got a good aura, and boosting him up is going to... it's going to protect you pretty well, too. I don't know who you'd put in the lead in Team 1 here. Maybe Ninja and just try to be boosting Ninja as much as possible. Like Ninja, then Solus, or Solus, then Ninja. Something like that. I don't know. It's kind of flexible. But there's some team ideas that you could throw together to make stuff work. I think one of the problems we have on this account is that We've got the Raglan, but she could be a bit awkward to fit into some teams, but we don't have many of the best revivers. Yeah, we're very lacking in revivers. We've got Raglan, we've got Godseeker. I do think that Mighty Uko is going to be very helpful here. Mighty Uko is going to give us block buffs and also give us revive, which is going to be very nice for building some different types of teams. So you could definitely do some cool stuff. I'd say Mighty Uko go pretty well with like a Biffled, something like that. Could be kind of nice. But yeah, anyway, you could redo the teams at that point. Cythalia can actually be pretty nice for this sort of thing as well. I feel like Syl is probably not the best, but is an option as someone that's going to heal and stuff like that. So there you go. Few options in there, things to consider. But guys, I hope you enjoyed about the shard pulls and some quick theory crafting for Hydra teams. If you saw what you very possibly did, especially if you pause the video and take a proper look, if you want to suggest some Hydra teams for these guys as well that you have used with the champions they have that work, feel free. Good luck with your shard pulls. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you for watching. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. See you next time. Bye-bye.